Imagine for a moment that you're faced with a question that stirs the emotions of millions of fans around the world. A question that divides opinions, sparks passionate debates, and awakens the competitive spirit of speed enthusiasts. Who would be the greatest driver of all time? In 2025, this discussion takes on new dimensions, especially when it comes to comparing two iconic Formula One names. Ayrton Senna, the Brazilian who won hearts with his passion and unwavering determination, and Max Verstappen, the modern star whose trajectory seems to be rewriting the limits of the sport. Between consecutive championships, impressive records, and historic moments, this comparison goes far beyond cold numbers. It's like trying to choose between two epic songs, each with its own rhythm, melody, and meaning. And David Coulthard, a man who not only witnessed Senna's golden era up close, but also helped shape Verstappen's success, has decided to share his opinion on this endlessly fascinating topic. David Coulthard, a respected name in motorsport, lived a career that almost serves as a bridge between these two glorious eras. He stepped into Senna's seat at Williams after the tragic accident in Imola in 1994, a moment that deeply marked Formula One history. Later, Coulthard played a crucial role in the rise of Red Bull racing, turning it into a dominant powerhouse. So when he was asked who would win in a direct showdown between Senna at his peak and Verstappen at his peak, his words were carefully chosen, reflecting both admiration and realism. For Coulthard, the answer involves more than just technical skills or accumulated victories. He believes in human evolution, in the idea that each new generation surpasses the previous one. If we believe in that, he said during an interview for the Asa Park podcast, then Max's peak would probably surpass Ayrton's peak. But he was quick to acknowledge that this is not a definitive conclusion. There is something magical and intangible about Senna, a star quality that transcends numbers and continues to resonate decades after his death. Coulthard highlighted this by noting that even Max, known for his pragmatic mindset and relentless focus, would feel deep respect for Senna, seeing him as a kind of inspirational beacon. Ayrton Senna's legend transcends the sport. He was not just a driver, he was a force of nature on and off the track. His duels with Alain Prost, full of tension and strategy, are legendary. Remember Suzuka in 1989? Senna promised that if he wasn't leading into the first corner, he would take Prost out, and he delivered on that promise. This kind of conviction, this ability to turn pressure into fuel, is rare. Yet, Senna also had his detractors. During his career, many saw him as overly aggressive, a driver willing to risk everything in pursuit of victory. Today, however, Senna's legacy is celebrated for his technical genius, his incredible skill in adverse conditions, who could forget his wet weather performances, and his visceral passion for motorsport. On the other hand, Max Verstappen represents a new era. He grew up in an environment where technology and data dictate many strategic decisions. At just 27 years old in 2025, he has already amassed 4 consecutive world championships, an achievement reached by very few drivers in history. Additionally, he holds the best statistical season of all time, recorded in 2023 when he demonstrated remarkable consistency and a unique ability to handle constant pressure. For Coulthard, the difference between the two drivers may lie in their approaches. Senna was the master of the flying lap, while Verstappen shines in the long race, adapting to changes and maximizing opportunities.
But let's dive even deeper into the statistics of these two giants. Comparing numbers across eras is always a challenge, especially since the points system has changed drastically since Senna's time. While the Brazilian accumulated 610 points over his career, Verstappen has already surpassed an impressive 3,210.5 points. However, this discrepancy doesn't tell the full story. What really stands out is the percentage of race starts converted into victories. Verstappen has won 29.15% of the races he has competed in so far, while Senna recorded 25.31%. This difference, although small, suggests remarkable efficiency on Verstappen's part, especially considering the challenges faced this season. When it comes to pole positions, however, Senna remains supreme. His 65 poles represent a success rate of 40.12%, a number only matched by legends like Jim Clark and Juan Manuel Fangio. Verstappen, with 44 poles, achieves a rate of 19.73%. This clearly illustrates the different strengths of each driver. Senna, the qualifying specialist, able to extract the maximum from any car, and Verstappen, the race strategist, always ready to adjust his style according to circumstances. Jacques Villeneuve, another prominent Formula One figure, raised an interesting point stating that Verstappen should not be compared directly to Senna. For him, the level of competition around Verstappen is not as high as it was in Senna's era. This is a valid point, but also difficult to measure objectively. During Senna's years at McLaren, he faced formidable rivals like Prost, Nigel Mansell, and Nelson Piquet. Today, Verstappen dominates with a comfortable margin over his competitors, largely thanks to Red Bull's technical superiority. Nevertheless, this does not diminish his achievements. Adapting to constant changes in rules, tires, and strategies requires a diverse skill set, which Verstappen has demonstrated in abundance. He has also shown remarkable maturity for someone so young, handling criticism and praise with balance and wisdom. Returning to Coulthard's analysis, he raised a fascinating point about how people often divide this comparison. Many argue that Senna would have the edge in a flying lap, while Verstappen would excel over a full race. This perspective makes sense when considering the contexts in which both competed. Senna was famous for his ability to find invisible limits on every circuit, exploiting every inch of the track to secure pole position. Verstappen, with his experience managing tires and race pace, shows exceptional skill in staying calm under prolonged pressure. Coulthard concluded by saying that Verstappen would likely accept this division of roles, as his ultimate goal has always been to win races, no matter how that was achieved. He would respect Senna's legacy, recognizing that some icons simply hold a special place in collective memory. The debate between Senna at his peak and Verstappen at his peak is, above all, a reflection of what makes Formula One so captivating. It's not just about who is fastest or who has more titles, it's about how each driver contributes to the emotional and cultural fabric of the sport. Senna represented pure passion, the unwavering will to win against all odds. Verstappen, on the other hand, symbolizes the adaptability and technical precision required to thrive in an increasingly complex world. Both have left indelible marks, albeit in different ways. Perhaps it is impossible to declare a definitive winner in this comparison. Yet what is clear is that, regardless of which side you choose to champion, this discussion celebrates the richness and diversity of motorsport. It is a tribute to the heroes who defined eras and continue to inspire new generations. Looking to the future, it is impossible not to wonder how this conversation will evolve. In 2025, we're in the midst of an era dominated by Verstappen. But we are also beginning to see new talents emerge who could one day enter this debate. Drivers like Lando Norris, often compared to Senna for his grit and determination, are building their own narratives. Who knows? Decades from now, we might be discussing whether Norris surpasses Verstappen or even Senna. What matters is that these comparisons keep the magic of Formula One alive, reminding us that, in the end, the sport is much more than fast machines and shiny trophies. It is about stories, dreams, and the relentless pursuit of excellence. And in that sense, both Senna and Verstappen deserve a standing ovation, not just for what they have achieved, but for the lasting impact they have had and will continue to have on all of us who love the sport.